Well, but now Square is slowly going into the music streaming industry. Yes, you heard that right. The music streaming industry, which is one of the most profitable industries out there. Like, just look at Spotify stock recently. It's doing really well. Apple Music, it's making Apple a ton of money. I mean, every single platform right now, especially the tech sector, is doing music streaming. It's becoming really big. And this is inching closer and closer into Square's territory. And now Square is thinking, if the music streaming industry can make so much money, why don't I go into it as well? Which is exactly what they're doing. Square announced its plans to acquire majority ownership stake in Tidal. This is a really big company here, and some analysts are saying that they will get more bullish on the stock because of this recent acquisition. This is a majority stake here. This is not just like a small investment. They're not trying to be active investors. They want to own this company, and this is big, and they want to be getting Jay-Z on the board of directors. Yeah, you heard that right. That sounds pretty wild. Now you got one of the most famous rappers on the board of directors. That sounds pretty awesome, honestly. And Guggenheim's Jeff Cantel, this is a Wall Street analyst, it's pretty famous, wrote on a note on Thursday reiterating a buy rating and even bumping the stock up from a $288 price target to $290. Now, if you look at Square stock right now, it's hovering at $226. Giving a $288 price tag is already good enough, but bumping it up to $290 and also saying that it's a buy stock as well just makes the stock even more appealing. It's in the early days, obviously, and the Wall Street analyst also says that Square gives very, very good connections between both companies, between Square and Tidal, and it's going to be pretty awesome. This is a majority stake. It's a music streaming service, and it will be purchasing it for roughly $300 million in cash and also stock. And that is a lot of money right there. So far, if you check out the Wall Street analyst, Jeff Cantrell expects Tidal to eventually add $110 million into the annual revenue of Square, expanding the apps to different areas like the entertainment business, music business, etc. Jeff Cantrell also expects Tidal to eventually add $110 million into the annual revenue of Square. And they want to be expanding themselves towards the entertainment and music business, which I could tell you is one of the most profitable business out there. And people are making these massive bull cases recently for Square because of their willingness to participate in other areas of the tech industry. We all know Square as this e-commerce payment system. Initially, Square started out making these hardware pieces for small businesses. Eventually started catching on. They started adding AI. They started adding in more e-commerce, more fintech type of things. Now they're doing a lot of this type of stuff online. In fact, they have a pretty big Square e-commerce presence recently. And then they bought a bunch of Bitcoin, so they're also in the crypto industry. Just recently, they just acquired Tidal for $300 million. And you can clearly see, even though the company is still pretty small compared to like the big giants in Silicon Valley, they are willing to expand. What's super scary about a company is not willing to expand. They go into an industry and all they do is the same thing over and over again. They don't actually change things up. Even if Square completely fails with Tidal, it shows you that the attitude of the company really wants to be expanding towards new horizons, trying to make themselves like a big player. Like whatever makes money, they will go for it. This is the type of stuff that really does please a ton of shareholders. And right now, Tidal is slowly trying to get things up and running. Tidal also plays slightly higher royalties compared to other services, promotes merchandise, videos. It could be used as a social media bridge between musicians and fans. So you get the idea. It's kind of like Spotify, but even more personalized. If they pay more royalties, they will get more individuals going into the company. So it's looking pretty awesome. And keep in mind that Square's revenue in general has been increasing on a rapid basis. Like the revenue for the quarter ending December 31st, 2020 was roughly $3.1 billion, 140% increase year over year. And so far, Square in the past several months has been getting triple digit percentage increases. And that's not including Tidal, their brand new music streaming industry. Now, Tidal is extremely small, and you guys probably not heard of it. It only consists of just a few million individuals, but so far they have some cool things, including interaction between the fans, the musician. You get a more personalized playlist, and if you're the artist, you can actually get a little bit more money compared to the other competitors. I think what they're trying to do is try to drag in more artists and musicians over, and then eventually the audience will come as well. They're currently offering a 30-day free trial and then $10 a month afterwards, which really isn't that bad. I don't know. I feel like if they lower the cost, maybe like $7.99 a month, it might even get more users. But hey, what did I know? They probably calculate the cost and everything. And once again, Square has a pretty big online e-commerce sector. I mean, they're really, really big in this scenario. And you know how when you check out an item online, you gotta go through like a payment process? Well, Square could help you make that payment process. You could also start an e-commerce store directly on Square. It's free and you can take orders and sell from your store. And when you open a restaurant or maybe open a retail store, Square actually encourages you to open an online version of that store. And so far, a lot of people have been saying Square makes things easier. They help you with the e-commerce store and stuff like that. They help you with the payment links, and also they help you with adding payments to your store. It's a one-stop shop. It's super simple. They're making e-commerce as simple as possible, which is exactly what I like to see. They also have like risk, they have like security, and it's very, very nice. And it's really not that expensive. And they're expanding on a rapid basis here. Square also receives $4.7 million to develop open source security chip. They're also working on several different projects as well. So you can't really say that they're just simply a payment company. They're doing way more things than a traditional payment company. It's a little bit weird, but it's also pretty exciting. And then last but not least, you do have Jack Dorsey selling his first tweet ever as an NTF for $2.9 million. This is big because Square is a pretty big competitor in the crypto industry. And with the CEO of Square so interested in NTFs and also crypto, and if you feel like crypto is the future, which I kind of do, then Square is definitely the investment for you. Square already purchased hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, and Jack Dorsey, the CEO, the leader of Square, is already super interested in this sort of technology. So Square, in my opinion, they're expanding further and further. It's kind of like Tesla. You know how everyone says Tesla is like a car manufacturing business, but in reality, they're a battery, software, solar panel industry. Same thing with Square. People just say that it's a payment company, but it's way more than that. There's e-commerce payment, retail payment, crypto. They're doing music streaming. It's pretty big. I wouldn't even be